Hello, and welcome to the Three Guys Talk Film podcast, the podcast where three guys talk about film. But it's a very special week this week. Why is it special, Chris?
It's because Nathan
And George.
and George.
George is here.
And George is also here. It's because we're doing our awards night this week. So it's our last podcast of the year. So we're going to be taking a look back at the last year, having a look at the films, what we think are the best films, and also a worst film as well, controversially.
You've got to slate someone.
We
Just
do.
it's therapeutic.
It is.
It makes you feel better about yourself, which is what we all need.
And what's the most important thing to remember is that we have not stolen these categories from anywhere.
No.
We came up with them
No.
completely on our
Yes.
own.
Definitely not
Yeah.
something similar to Silver Planets.
Yeah. I think there's a new sort of indie
Silver
award
Planet.
show called the Golden Globes or something.
Yeah,
they
won't last.
They've
Well,
stolen our
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah.
And I'm very angry.
So, are we
I feel like this award ceremony should be called the Silver Planets Awards.
the Silver
No,
Planets?
I
yeah.
like it.
But
Please
that,
don't sue us.
Yeah,
for
it's like the Aldi version of the
the
Golden Globes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Yeah.
a seal bar.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Legally distinct.
Legally distinct. That's
Yeah.
what this episode's going to be
Yeah.
called. The legally distinct Silver Globe
Because
Planets.
there is no greater award than not being sued.
That is true.
That is true.
Right.
Are
Should we start off with the first? We're going to dispense with the news for this week and just
Yeah,
get straight down to the awards because I feel like there's going to be a lot of shouting.
There is no
Yeah,
news. Just watch the Ghostbusters trailer and you're fine.
Yeah, Paul
Or
Rudd did a
don't,
thing.
and you're still
Paul
fine.
Rudd did a thing.
That's about it. Anyway, we're starting off with Best Drama. So, Nathan,
Dun,
as
dun,
your host, do you want to start?
dun.
As host. So this was quite a difficult one on the whole because I feel like quite a few things could have fallen into this category.
Okay.
But in the end, I went for The Irishman
Oh, over Joker.
over Joker.
Wow. I've
Pure-
yet to see it.
The Irishman, yeah, probably because you haven't got the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause it's like
Yeah.
4 hours.
I had to watch it in 3 installments, which is 100% not the way to watch it.
Scorsese would be fuming at
Yeah.
you right now.
But no, it's fantastic. Like they just don't make films like that anymore. Like if you care remotely about Godfather, Goodfellas, you need to watch this film. De Niro, Pesci, and Pacino are all fantastic. Pacino in Pacino, whatever words.
In Pacino is
In
his new
Pacino,
painting.
yeah. Al Pacino in particular is incredible, and all the like the classic themes are still coming through, like family and just watching Frank, who's De Niro's character, watching his journey from start to finish is just
Is it
wonderful.
just... Because I've not seen it either, I will admit to that, because that's my Christmas break life. But is it just basically a rehash of Goodfellas? Because that's what I'm scared of.
It's definitely got the same vibe,
Mm.
but it's less sort of glamorized.
Mm.
So it's not, it's not these rich people in suits, hanging out in the expensive bars and stuff. Like Frank comes across as quite like a blue collar, working class kind of guy who's
Okay.
just in trying to basically look after his family financially. He's basically neglecting them the whole time.
Okay.
So it's definitely got that themes, but I think all of them do. But yeah, it definitely stands on its own. It's not just a retread.
So it's not just the case. So Joe Pesci insane?
No.
Okay, so
No.
it's definitely not just a retread then. Cause
Joe Pesci's actually... He's nothing like what in Goodfellas,
Yeah,
if that's what you're getting
that's-
at. No.
basically, whenever I've seen Joe Pesci in any film, he's just rehashing himself in Goodfellas.
No, he's very sort of reserved. He's the one in this that kind of everyone respects. He's like the Don, almost. He's like the face of the mob, because you never really see the inner workings of the mob. It's more just from Frank's point of view.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Joe Pesci's kind of sort of Frank's point of contact the whole time.
Right.
But most importantly, how is Ray Romano?
He is exactly like Ray Romano in everything,
That is good for me.
including Ice Age.
Yeah, he's Manny.
He's Manny.
They
yeah.
even CG'd him in.
Yeah.
He's just sat there on these mob meetings.
He plays the lawyer. He's kind of like the Saul almost. If you've ever seen Breaking Bad, but like much less sort of scrappy. But yeah, he's like the lawyer that basically tries to get them off with everything, all these terrible things that they're doing.
I need to watch it. I do need
Yeah,
to watch it.
it's fantastic. Don't watch it in installments. Watch it in one go. Set aside
An afternoon.
a week.
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah. In fact, do you know what? Just Christmas Day, don't bother coming downstairs. High off your family. Stop watching The Witcher, because then you'll be watching that instead.
I will be watching
But watch The Irishman.
Stop watching The Witcher.
Yeah.
That's slander.
Yeah.
Right, before we carry on, quickly, The Witch looks so good, and that's what I'm saying.
It
It is.
But yeah,
Looks so good.
Award
Irishman.
for best looking programme to come. Goes
yeah,
to The Witcher.
definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Irishman, best drama of the year,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Yep, fair enough. I go
Giorgio, you're
for
up next.
peanut butter falcon.
Peanut butter.
I
Falcon.
choked on a peanut as I was talking.
Hey.
No, yeah, this was actually a real big surprise. The performances are incredible. It's a nice, pretty simple story. It's great for the kind of visibility of disability, if you like.
Okay.
I didn't want to turn into a poet there, but the way that they represent it all is great. And the main actor who plays the role, Zach Gotskyan or something like that, he's actually really good. His comedic timing is brilliant. He's such a likeable guy, and him and Shia LaBeouf just have this great kind of brotherly vibe going on. So Shia LaBeouf's like the big brother, and the jokes that they have are just so funny. And for me, it's Shia LaBeouf's best performance that I've seen him in.
Have you seen the new Shia LaBeouf film? The
Honey Boy one.
Yeah, have you seen that yet?
No, but it's
Because apparently that is incredible.
Is that the one where he like basically plays his own dad?
Yeah. That looks like an
Is that
interesting
out
one.
yet?
I think it's out in America.
Yeah,
I
as
think-
everything is.
Yeah, as everything is.
That's the thing. I bet there are loads of films that I'll watch early next year, like Parasite, that should have been out here.
Yeah.
And they've been out everywhere else for like a year.
Was that the Ted Bundy one, the Shockingly Evil, Extremely
Yeah,
Wicked,
that was
whatever
it.
it's called? Yeah, like it came out in America in like sort of late 2018. It only hit here in like May.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, it was late. No,
Yeah.
ridiculous. Anyway,
Well,
sorry.
Yeah,
That's
this
gonna
one
go
was
on.
just, it was surprisingly funny, really enjoyable, but with some good emotion, definitely.
Okay.
And yeah, it could be like a comedy, but I think the drama elements kind of outweigh that. Yeah.
Right, okay. I've gone for the obvious choice, which is obviously Joker.
I'm glad one of us has put it there.
Yeah,
One of
I
us
said
had
one
to,
of-
you know what I mean?
It's
I thought I'd take that
my
one.
honourable mention for sure.
I left the film loving it. I think the problem compared to my problem with Joker, which is why I didn't put it as best film, is the fact that I left the film. I was satisfied, but I didn't want to watch it again.
Yeah, no.
It was a very emotionally draining experience. Like you left that film, you're like, I have had a battle.
I've watched that film twice, and I have no desire to watch it again for a very long time because it's just so uncomfortable and close and
But
claustrophobic.
Isn't that so good though that they're able
Yes,
to do that,
yeah.
make you feel
Yeah.
so uncomfortable, so weird, so like
Yeah.
Like the bit where he obviously sorry for any spoilers for Joker, skip forward like 30 seconds.
We haven't seen
But-
it. Come on, what are you doing?
But the bit where he murders his friend in his flat,
Yeah, that was
that
horrific.
is so uncomfortable.
It's so tense. Yeah.
So uncomfortable. And the dwarf guy's just standing there. And it's,
Dwarf guy. Yeah.
I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah.
That's his IMDb credit.
But like that, I think that scene for me just literally put that above every other drama I've seen this year because you just felt so strange and like you say, claustrophobic and horrible. It
Well,
just-
you're essentially just watching a guy unravel.
yeah,
And even though he starts off as quite sympathetic, like
you don't
eventually,
like him by the end of the film.
yeah, you don't like him, but you like the scariest thing about it is that you understand why he's doing the things he's doing, and I think that's the scariest part about it. But I don't want to talk about it too much because it might come up again later. Ooh, little tease for
It's
you there.
best comedy.
It's best comedy.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but it's not. My life's not a comedy.
No, it is.
It's a.
It's not a
tragedy.
tragedy. It is a comedy.
Oh.
Yeah. See.
So what?
Is that why you're all laughing at me all the time?
Yes.
Okay.
So what are we going for?
I mean, I haven't seen The Irishman, but based on reviews, I feel like that's one that's broke the most ground in terms of.
See, I think Joker's the most different because Irishman's got old Scorsese charm, which is what everyone's
Which has
missing.
been seen.
And to be honest, like we have missed for the last 10 years, and it's nice that we're getting that back again. But the fact that it's not to like obviously slate The Irishman, I'm sure it's a very, very good film. But it's the fact that it is that kind of ground we already know, whereas Joker offered us something completely different to what we've seen previously.
It did.
So I think for that reason and that reason alone, it should win.
I wouldn't be opposed to Joker winning. I've never
No, me
seen
neither.
Peanut Butter Falcon. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
I do
haven't
want to
seen
watch
The
both
Irishman.
of your films.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But since we've all watched Joker,
Yeah,
think- yeah,
I'm
should
okay with that.
probably win. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
fine with
cool.
that.
So that's Joker as best drama.
Yeah.
Which
Congrats
moves
on your
us-
silver planet.
Silver Planet. They weren't here to be able to collect their film, so
No, we
Yeah.
couldn't get Joaquin in.
we
So.
couldn't get wacky in. And Todd just straight up ignored us. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
unfortunately, we're going to have to accept their award on their behalf. So.
I think the guy who stole the sign at the beginning, I think he's waiting outside. But
But do we really want him?
no.
Bit of a dick.
Yeah.
So
Best
that
comedy.
brings us to the best comedy. Do you want to start, George?
I'll start, yeah.
Nathan started last time.
I'm going in Booksmart. I think a lot of critics would agree with me. It was really well received by critics, but no one went to see it. It did not make much money at all. It's an indie film again. Directorial debut of Olivia Wilde, and she does a great job. You would think she's been directing comedies for her entire life, and the performances from all of the cast were just incredible. I think Beanie Feldstein and Caitlin Dever, I think they've got some big careers ahead of them. Definitely two of the breakout stars of the year, and it's a proper. I wrote a piece about it, basically being the encapsulation. It's on Cultured Vultures, and basically it's like those films like Clueless. They really just sum up the era. They sum up 2019 so well. Booksmart, but it's got like the timeless comedy.
It's got that super bad element to it.
It does, yeah. Like I feel like we could watch it in 10 years' time and it will still be funny. But I'd say it's a bit more than just a comedy. But in terms of kind of roping it in, there haven't been many good comedies this year.
No, there haven't.
Long Shot's
this
another one.
This was probably the hardest one for me.
Yeah, but I just prefer this to Long Shot, so that is my nomination.
Fair enough. Mine is not Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw. It could have been, but it's not. More of that later.
If you could, you would fit that into every category. I
nearly did. I nearly put it in drama as well for a laugh.
Best animation, why not?
I mean, to be fair, if you've seen this, you're enjoying that film.
No, I don't want to.
No, I went for Zombieland 2 because, like you say, there's not been a lot of good comedies this year. And Zombieland, I wanted to put Fighting My Family, but I've not seen it, so I couldn't. But the trailers for that looked amazing. I want to watch it.
It is really good, yeah.
But Zombieland 2, I felt had a lot to deal with because of how good Zombieland 1 was. Yeah. And the fact that they were able to make a solidly standalone film that dealt with some of the issues from the previous film, made some new ones, and didn't make any kind of like hackneyed attempts at reinvigorating itself, but actually made something slightly different and new whilst keeping all that old stuff and being funny was, I think, pretty solidly good. The end was not as good as the first one because it was not great, but Woody Harrelson once again is just incredible in that film. Emma Stone is actually really good in that film. The bit part actors that they get to do all the other stuff are really good.
Yeah, I like Zoe Deutsch.
Yeah, she was ace in it. And I was really happy that they didn't pull out the joke of finding those two people that are exactly the same as Tallahassee and Columbus.
Yeah, it was there just about
just long enough. If it had been there much longer, I would have been annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. I think it knew its jokes really, really well, and you could tell it's been revised time and time again before they've done it. It's not something they've looked at and gone, "Oh, we'll do a reboot. Let's do Zombieland," and quickly bash something out. Yeah. They've clearly taken the time with it, and the jokes really did hit when they wanted to. There was a nice emotional moments as well. So yeah, it was just a really good film.
I think the most impressive thing about Zombieland 2 is that the fact it even exists. Like, because think about the first one and how, with the exception of Woody Harrelson, they weren't like A-list actors at that point.
No, not at all.
But since then, Eisenberg's been nominated for an Oscar.
The
but
only
didn't
one
win it.
who's won is
Emma Stone. Yeah, because in the trailer it's like nominee, winner. But yeah, like,
which is weird when you consider that she's arguably the worst actor out of the three big ones.
I don't know. I don't know.
Out of the three of them. Out of the three of them, because
Jesse Eisenberg is the same in anything. Did you watch him as Lex Luthor?
No, because I didn't want to watch that film. But he's really, really good in The Social Network.
Do you know what? Jesse Eisenberg would be a perfect Joker. In fact, he plays the Joker when he's Lex Luthor in Batman vs Superman. I hate that film. Move on.
But I think Jesse Eisenberg's... Emma Stone I find quite one-dimensional at times. But again, she did a great job in Zombieland too. And Woody Harrelson is just an...
If she's listening to this, she's going to be fuming.
You're going to get sued again.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's my honest opinion. It's fine.
Okay. Well, at least you've clarified it now. Now we know.
Yeah, mine's... To be honest with you, calling it a comedy is probably quite...
Is it Joker?
Loose. It's not. No, it's not Joker. It's not Joker. It's Detective Pikachu.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think of Detective Pikachu. That was a great film.
Yeah.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I did not consider it.
Well, because same as you two, I haven't seen many good comedies this year, or if any. I don't think I've watched an outright comedy film all year.
So neither of you watched Long Shot either?
No.
Because that is great. If you like Seth Rogen.
I don't like Seth Rogen, that's why I
If you don't
it.
even like Seth Rogen that much, which I don't.
I do like a bit of Seth Rogen.
But Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like Seth Rogen without James Franco, which is me,
Yep.
stick them together. No, on his own.
Yeah.
Genuinely funny guy.
Yeah.
And long shot is really good, and it feels modern.
It does. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Detective Pikachu. Mainly because it's the funniest film that I've seen this year.
Ryan Reynolds is great in that.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds is perfect casting, and they achieved something I didn't think they could achieve by doing a live action Pokemon film and making it work. The way that they handle the Pokemon, like the world feels like believable, and
Yeah.
like the little jobs that they sort of assign to each
Like
Pokemon.
the squirrel being firefighters.
Yeah, Squirtle being
It was adorable.
firefighters, Jigglypuff's a lounge singer, all that is just brilliant. And
for me, it gets worse as it goes on.
yeah, the plot is unnecessarily complicated.
Yeah,
That's
it
because they
is.
literally ripped off the video game.
And
Yeah.
the CG of Mewtwo is just shocking compared to
Yeah,
everyone else.
it is.
Like Pikachu, the detail in that is so adorable.
Yeah.
And then you've got Mewtwo that just looks like they've copy and pasted him from the cartoon from 1999.
Yeah.
And they wasted Bill Nye as well.
They did waste ball
They
nine.
did.
They did. But it's possibly, with the exception of maybe one other film, probably the most fun I've had with a film this year. Like I watched the whole thing because I'm not even like the biggest Pokemon fan. It's mainly my girlfriend. She's obsessed with it, and so I took her to see this, and literally I just had the biggest smile on my face throughout the whole thing.
I think if that film was carried by Ryan Reynolds,
It was.
Yeah,
if
definitely.
Yeah.
he wasn't there. If
No.
you strip Ryan Reynolds away from that film, it's a terrible film.
So, but is it Justice Smith?
He does a good job.
Yeah, he does a good job.
He does a good job, but
His character's quite bland.
His character, all the characters are in it.
I don't
they're
know.
very one-dimensional.
I like the relationship between him and Pikachu though.
Oh, but that big reveal at the end.
Oh,
How cringeworthy was that?
Again, if it wasn't Ryan Reynolds, it would have fell apart there. But everyone just loves to see Ryan Reynolds.
But you can see on Ryan Reynolds' face, he's like, this is such a stupid idea.
Again,
you can
it's because
see
they
it.
ripped the video game off.
Yeah. But yeah,
But anyway,
like I
but
say,
yeah, he was funny.
as I-
He was really good.
I'm probably not going to fight for this one too hard.
That's fair.
Nor will I.
So,
No.
but yeah,
Because we've just spent the last 5 minutes just slating it.
but like I still. The only other remotely funny film I've seen all year, realistically, is probably Shazam, and I refuse to
No.
even put Shazam on here.
I can't believe this has even been recorded.
Yeah.
You should edit that out. Shocking.
George, I'm surprised this whole thing's even getting recorded.
So, I don't know how you want to do this one. Have you seen Zombieland 2, Nathan?
No, but I've seen the trailer.
Something like
That's,
two,
that's pretty good. What rating did you give Zombieland 2, Chris?
I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10.
So, yeah. See, I gave Books more like a 10.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
in that case, given
I have heard very, very, very good things about Booksmart.
Yeah.
and also as well, I really want to see that film, so we'll go with Booksmart then. In that case,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I
Which
can
puts
lose
us
every other
on-
one.
Oh yes, which puts us on, lads.
Best action. Oh, I wonder what it'll be from Chris.
Right, let's have a guess. Let me paint
Well,
you a
you're,
picture.
yeah, you're starting off, so
It's
go on.
the slow and ticked off.
It is obviously Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, which is one of, if not the best film of the year. Just saying, it is an incredible film, purely because it takes the piss out of the Fast and Furious franchise, which has now become a parody of itself.
But that's not difficult to do.
It's not, but it does it in a really good way. So, my thing about that film, right, was I went to see it. We went to a 10 o'clock showing because that was the soonest any of my friends could actually go and see it. We didn't get out of the cinema until like 1 in the morning, and I left. Bear in mind, obviously, look, I was so tired.
How long
drained.
is it?
It's like a 2.5 hour film with like half an hour
God,
of it.
that's ridiculous.
It's amazing. And I left with a massive smile on my face. I was super hyped. The action sequence in it, which is why I put it as action and not comedy.
Yeah.
The action sequences in it are so well played. They're really properly choreographed quite nicely. The only like slightly dodgy one is when The Rock is holding a helicopter with a chain,
Yeah,
which is
from
just
the
weird.
trailer, which is just so dumb.
They are. What I like about it is the fact that it's cartoon style violence. It's just ridiculous.
Well,
and it's
that's
great.
the thing. You can accept that if, like you say, the film recognises
Yeah,
it and
the film.
plays on it.
The film
Kingsman.
deliberately. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like Kingsman. It deliberately knows it's terrible, and it recognises that, and it plays on that as a massive strength for itself. And what you go in expecting, which is a terrible action film that's going to be awful, is actually full of nice heart. It's got a genuine sweetness to it. Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Jason Statham bounce off each other really, really well. Ryan Reynolds rocks up and so does Kevin Hart, and they have really good bit parts. There's a beautiful bit which is in the trailer as well, which is where The Rock's got that one guy and he just knocks him out in one punch, and then Jason Statham doing all this really cool thing in that one bit, and that whole sequence is amazing. Also got the best line from Idris Elba ever, which is genocide, schmenocide. That's an actual line in that film, and I love it. I just love it because it's so terrible. But the reason I'm putting it as action film is it's a callback to the old 80s action films that we all love. Like the proper old cheesy ones. No, it's the cheesy ones. Like you've got Demolition Man, which is one of Stallone's arguably better films, or his version of Judge Dredd, which is just camp and cheesy. Where Terminator was going after it stopped taking itself seriously. Those kind of films where we just kind of don't have anymore.
Is that a bad thing?
No. But for me, you've got what are arguably becoming Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and Jason Statham and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, because they basically play themselves in every film they're in.
Yes.
And I just really liked it. I did really like it. And like I said, the set pieces were really, really good. Like, really good. The production values were
that's
amazing.
a big sell.
Yeah, that is one thing that Fast and Furious has got.
It's
for it.
Carfu. It's Carfu and it's great.
See, I kind of bailed on Fast and Furious when they started dragging safes through downtown Rio.
Yeah.
Because I was in it for the street racing
which is
aspect
not
of
what
it.
it is anymore.
Yeah, and I think I kind of like I towed the line with it for quite a while. Then as soon as that is that the end of 5.
That's the end of 5. Yeah.
Like, how many are there now? It's like
7.
Oh.
No, 8.
Oh, God.
No, we're on 9 now. Yeah, so 8.
Oh, God, Jesus. But yeah, I kind of bailed at that point. Like it's not really. It's too ridiculous.
The fact that people take the piss out of them and say they're terrible films, but we're on number 9.
Oh,
Yeah,
they clearly make
like
money.
$1 billion.
Yeah,
they
clearly
make
money.
absolute bank, and they're enjoyable films. They're not amazing films. They're not new. They're not.
Yeah, and I think that's all right. I think some people want to go to the cinema and they don't want to be challenged. They just
want
want to
a
have
bit
a
of
laugh.
fun. Yeah, a bit of fun.
relax.
Take your brain out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can definitely do that with any Jason Statham film. So
Yeah,
That is true.
because he doesn't use his brain in it.
Shout out to Transporter though.
Oh, the Transport film's great.
Yeah.
And Snatch is brilliant as well.
Snatch is
Snatch
great.
is incredible.
But
Snatch is great.
yeah, for me, Hobbs and Shaw offers a callback to an era of film we don't necessarily have anymore. Which, when I'm watching superhero films every other week, I'm quite happy with.
Well, that's quite a nice segue actually.
Go on.
To yours, yeah.
Because shockingly,
Shockingly, you've gone with superhero.
my best action film is Captain Marvel. No, it's Avengers Endgame.
Hey, don't be hating on Captain Marvel.
No, I really like
I
Captain
had as
Marvel.
much fun in that
Yeah.
as I did in Endgame.
I mean, okay, but there isn't really much I can say about Endgame that hasn't been
by
said.
literally
But
everyone, yeah.
obviously, I live and breathe this shit. Oh, sorry, I did my
It's
best to
alright,
not
we've all-
swear.
we've all
did my
sworn
best,
once now.
but yeah,
We've all said
I just
one
love
sweary.
it. And at this point, it's not as an actual film. Fair enough. I accept that it's not perfect, and it's got issues. I hate what they did with Hulk.
The time travel is nonsense.
It's
But
ridiculous.
the film tells you not to worry about it.
No.
It literally says like no,
But that
just don't
doesn't
think
mean
about
they
it.
can do
Don't think
what they
about it.
want now.
But it's fan service 101.
It is.
And for someone like me who's watched all of these films a ridiculous amount of times, somebody who I even like Thor: Dark World.
Wow.
Like I have these characters tattooed on my leg.
Yeah, I enjoyed Dark World actually.
I didn't.
Shout out to Dark World.
Shout out to
No,
Dark
it's a
World.
terrible film.
Shout out to Christopher Eccleston for his Oscar-worthy performance.
Yeah.
He didn't
Yeah.
even have a face in that film.
Poor guy. He hates it more than anyone.
He does.
That's because he's an actual serious actor.
Yeah, exactly. Well, then why did he sign up for it?
Because he needs money.
He needs bank. Yeah.
He needs
He
bank.
I bet he did make some.
He'd do a Fast and Furious film if they gave him money. Remember when he did G.I. Joe for a laugh?
No, I do not.
Oh, it was so
Because
funny.
no one watched that film.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was like Fast and Furious before Fast and Furious.
You
That
two will do
country.
anything to stop me talking about Endgame. I love it.
No, go on. Go on. sorry, go on.
It's yeah. For me, like it's just I say it was fan service 101, and it paid off everything. Like it paid off things I didn't even need it to pay off, and obviously like, it's a landmark moment for me, especially. And I think
it's
the
the biggest
in general,
film of all time.
the biggest film
Yeah.
of all time. Nothing like this will ever happen again, especially like not in this way, anyway.
Until Fast and Furious
Until-
22.
Yeah, and yeah, but if we're going to look at it purely through a action film lens, the portal scene, the final battle with Thanos, is just
It was good.
It's unbelievable.
It was good.
And
But
it's like a comic book come to life.
It's got one of
See,
my
for
most
me, it's-
hated scenes in cinema in it though.
But
what's that?
The all-female scene.
Yeah, that was.
Because it doesn't make sense. I don't have a problem.
That was so
I don't
so
have-
patronising.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with having that scene because they had basically the same scene in Infinity War, which was fine. It's the fact that I think what annoyed me about it is when the Wasp appears out of nowhere. I'm like, you're literally somewhere else doing something important that you need to be doing. Why are you here? That whole scene bugged me. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that was a bit patronising.
It was very just
But-
like. Eh.
So that aside.
Yeah, but you can't say it's the best and then in the same.
Yeah,
breath
but like
say
it's
that
still.
aside.
I don't think it's a bad scene. I think maybe the messaging behind it was slightly wrong.
It's not even the messaging that's the issue. It's just where
It's
it
more
came
the
in the sequence.
practicality.
Yeah,
to be
it's
honest.
the
Well, yeah.
The
practicality.
messaging's nice.
No, but I think it was more the messaging that I had a problem with because I don't think that's the sort of representation that they wanted. Like I don't think that's the way to do it.
There are better ways of doing
Yeah,
it for sure.
like
that's a whole other debate though.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I feel like Captain Marvel in herself gave them the representation that they wanted.
Oh, Captain Marvel would be in the bit.
Yeah, like because she was badass in that last fight.
She was. She flew through an entire ship.
But yeah, let's say like I literally from the moment that first portal opened, I was in tears the whole time.
See, for me, Marvel's just moved so far from what I fell in love with. It's lost its grounded feel, and
has.
now it's all space and cosmic and
Yeah.
big explosions,
gonna get
almost
even worse.
DC level kind of action now.
Yeah.
Like the Captain Marvel is a great character. I'm a big fan, especially of Brie Larson. But I mean, flying through a spaceship with all the explosions, that's Superman kind of stuff, isn't it? And whereas when I fell in love with Marvel, it was first Avengers, Captain America 2, more kind of ground. Obviously, superpowers and stuff involved. I'm not making out it's like some gritty
yeah.
Jason Bourne kind of stuff, but for me, it's so big now and it's so CGI heavy that it's just Endgame kind of marked the kind of end of
They should have stopped it.
my Marvel love. Yeah.
It's definitely for people like me. I think
Yeah,
it's
and-
definitely catered to people like me who have been waiting like for that final scene in particular. I've waited 10 years for that.
No, I had chills with that scene.
Yeah.
But is the rest of the action in it that good?
I mean the cat
There's
versus
barely
cat
any, is there?
fight.
Cat versus Cat
Cat
fight
versus
was
Cat
cool.
fight's good.
And that's it, really.
Yeah, like the Thanos initial fight was over in 5 seconds
There was no fight really.
because there wasn't really a fight.
There's the Ronin action scene, which is beautifully done.
It just felt out of place though. with the
Yeah,
rest of-
that's what I mean.
And
Like,
that's the thing. I think each act just felt different as well. It was.
it
kind
did
of
feel like it was directed by
disorientating.
3 different people.
Yeah.
It did. Like I think it's because it's clearly it's hard to judge this as a standalone film.
Yeah.
It's the
Well,
last.
you can't judge it as a standalone film.
No, it's the last instalment in a very long running series.
That's it. It's the last installment. Yeah, they're going to do another one. They
They're
said the
going to
other
do
day.
another 20.
Yeah, but I feel like now it's a new story. Like now is the jumping off point. If you don't want to watch the rest, then don't.
Yeah.
But, like
I'm probably going to do that.
Yeah. I'll watch Black Widow.
I obviously
I'm not gonna.
won't.
I'm not going to watch Eternals.
But I just think if we're talking,
Anyway.
I think if we're talking best action, I think that final scene is the best fight scene potentially in years, and in my opinion, since Lord of the Rings. In my humble
Wow.
opinion.
No, not
So
Kingsman and John Wick are up there. Best action.
Kingsman is good. Kingsman action is good.
But anyway, I will not be taking as long to debate this one because I don't really care. I was looking at the action films this year and thinking, wow, I don't think I've given many above a 6. This one I gave 7, so that shows you the kind of
Wow.
height of action.
Well, Hobson Shaw is
and it's,
10.
it's
so.
barely even an action. It's more of like a horror thriller. Ready or Not. I don't know if you saw it.
No.
It was a really cool little film.
Is that the one where they had different faces? The same faces, even as the family, or is that a different film?
No, it's a different film. This one, basically, she marries into a rich family, and they have a weird routine because they own like a games empire or something. And basically, you have to kind of roll a dice, and whatever game it lands on, you've got to play that. And it lands on hide and seek. And basically, she has to survive until 6, or they believe that, because they're like cultists, they believe that everyone will die if they don't find her and kill her. So yeah, that's the premise. And basically, it's just this one, the female lead just kind of fighting back and trying to escape. And it's cool. It's not amazing. The dialogue is pretty cringeworthy at times. Some of the the plot points are very kind of forced in there.
I can see why I made your album. Oh, I'm having a stroke today.
And
it's been a long old
I'm not
semester.
even gonna.
Yeah.
I've put this down. And I'm not even gonna nominate it.
Okay, so we'll scrap that then, and it's either Avengers or Hobbs and Shaw.
I refuse to accept Hobbs and Shaw over Avengers Endgame.
See, I'm gonna make Chris's day and vote Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh
I've not
my
seen it.
God.
Just because
Yes.
the
Oh.
more I think of Endgame, the more it triggers me. So this may be the harshest Nathan's been treated his entire life.
10 years worth of build up to that final scene. You vote for Hobbs and Shaw.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Winner. Yes, in case you missed that, Hobbs and Shaw is better than Avengers.
Tune into Two Guys Talk Film in January.
No, I think
Hobbs
is
and Shaw.
if it was in a superhero category, it would win every time.
Yeah.
What about Joker?
No, it's better than Joker.
What?
So it's better than Joker, which you put as best drama,
Yes.
but you're not gonna
It's
accept
better.
it as
It's
best
better than
action.
Joker. It's better than Joker in the superhero context, in the fact that it, like Nathan says,
Right.
it provides a culmination of 10 years.
Yeah.
Whereas Joker is a standalone thing.
See, but I'm judging it as a film in itself.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's
That's
the
the
difficult
thing.
thing to do with Endgame, because if you judge it as a thing by itself, it's not that great because the time travel doesn't make sense, which bugs me because they explain that they've
It makes
got
sense enough though.
It doesn't make sense in the parameters that they set out in the film, which is my problem.
It's not so much that it doesn't make sense. I think it's more. It leaves a few questions to be answered.
And it's just not a satisfying way of dragging out an hour for me.
Yeah.
That whole
Filler section,
middle
yeah.
act was just.
And for me as well, with best action, it can't win because it didn't have that many action sequences.
Yeah, but it had the mother of all action sequences in it.
I don't know, like for an action film, it needs to be like action packed all the way through. Whereas, yeah, I just think it's the wrong category. But
Like I had to put it on here somewhere.
Yeah,
I
no,
know.
of course,
I was
no,
tempted
of
to
course you
put
did.
best comic book film, but you know, it's the Silver Planets after all. We've got
Yeah.
traditions.
the Silver Planets, it's got its integrity to think about.
But yeah, no. If there was like a to be fair, with the Golden Globes, it's nominated obviously for best CGI and stuff, which will probably win
The CGI, yeah.
Yeah,
because the
can't
CGI
accept
is
that
actually
for
really
sure.
good.
Costume design, maybe.
God, the costume design is lush in that film.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's a bad film,
Yeah.
but in terms of an action
No,
film,
it's not a bad film, but
Hobbs and Shaw
I
is
gave
probably
it
the only.
6 out of 10, and I feel like
Wow.
I probably would have more fun with Hobbs and Shaw genuinely
Yeah, you would.
because it's so done.
It's so dumb.
I think I originally gave it a 9 when it came out. No, I think I gave it 9.5, and then in retrospect, I probably gave it a 9.
Solid though.
I gave
Yeah.
it a 7 when I first
Not
watched
bad.
it.
It's not bad.
It's definitely more of a me thing than.
Yeah, I feel
right.
like you've come in at the wrong. If you came here just after Infinity War and you were talking about Infinity War, I would be all over that. But
See, I
in the last year,
I think Endgame's so much better than Infinity War, though.
No,
But
there's no
let's say
way.
this is a debate for another
This,
time.
yeah,
but
this,
no,
we will
yeah.
do a Marvel
we
podcast.
we
and
will
we'll
do
talk
Marvel,
about
and it will be 6 hours long,
Yes.
yeah, for sure.
I'm totally okay with that.
and I will have
we'll
an
book an
aneurysm when I
entire
do
week.
it.
So moving on to best animation, Nathan,
Yeah.
what have you got?
I went for Toy Story 4.
Yeah, so did I. So
Yeah.
we can do like a joint pitch.
That joint pitch.
I did not. I nearly did.
Yeah.
And then I remembered how triggered I got by the ending.
Yeah,
So I
do you
didn't-
want to start off with yours then, and then we'll come through?
Yes. So I have gone for something I didn't realise was released this year, and then I remembered when I looked at best animations.
Yep.
Lego Movie 2.
It feels so long ago since I watched
It
that.
does.
But it was a nice
That was
surprise.
this year.
Was it
Wow.
February time?
It was February this year.
Yeah.
And it is a good film.
It is.
It's better than the first one.
I do not
Ooh.
agree.
I think it's better than the first one. I
Have I seen Lego Movie 2? What happens in Lego Movie 2?
It's the one where Chris Pratt turns out to be the bad guy because he gets like
No
thrown out
spoilers.
of some kind of like time warp
Yeah,
thing.
and it's got like Rex Danger Vest.
Yeah, Rex Dangervest. No, you haven't seen
You
it.
have not seen
No, I
it.
think
It's a good
If you
film.
don't remember Rex
that
Danger
name
Vest,
rings a bell. That
it's got
Google.
whatever.
I'm gonna Google Rex Danger Vest.
It's
Google
got
the
whatever a
Lego Movie.
wannabe as well, which is
Yeah.
a good twist.
It's just a really. I like the fact that what you think is the bad guy turns out to not be the bad guy.
Genuinely, it was like a Shyamalan twist.
Yeah, it was a proper. But that in an animated film, arguably for kids, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, it was a close one between these two.
And for me, Lego Movie 2 pips it purely because my case against Toy Story 4
Yeah,
is the fact.
it's more like
I have not seen Lego
storytelling.
Movie 2.
nah.
Fair
okay.
enough.
I think I was getting mixed up with
With Lego Movie 1?
no, with Keanu Reeves in Toy Story 4.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, fair. No, my problem with Toy Story 4 is the fact that if you know what the spoilers are obviously for Toy Story 4, if you know what the ending's going to be, which is that Woody and Buzz are going to be split up, why spend the whole film ruining Buzz's character by making him appear stupid
And
then
barely even appear.
barely even appear, make it mainly about Woody, and then when you get to the end of the film, you've got this big like friendship ending payoff. It feels cheapened because you've not actually seen the friendship of that film, and if you're going into that film for the first time, which many kids would be, let's be honest.
Or even if, I mean, it's been like 6 years since.
Yeah, exactly.
Longer than 6 years, and since Toy Story 3.
So you wanna go in, you wanna be reminded of their friendship, you wanna feel that. So when that emotional payoff is there, it actually means something. Whereas I watched it, and I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, I agree. Like if you did that after. Well, for me, the film didn't need to be made because Toy Story 3 was the perfect send off. But I just enjoyed it. I just thought it was good fun.
It's a great.
I agree
film.
with you in terms of the storytelling. It's just a bit dumb.
Yeah.
Like you say, especially towards the end. And to say that it's finishing off the entire franchise, it's not a great way to end it.
Butchering Buzz's character as well. When you spent 3 films with what became a really nice, genuine character when he started off being a massive div in the first film, and then he's actually a genuinely sweet and loving character by the end of it, and then he's just listening to his quote-unquote inner voice by pushing a button on his chest that he's had there for the last 3 films. It's like, what? Doesn't make any sense. So that's why for me Lego Movie 2 is above it, because it knew what it was. It had a really good and tight plot that had a nice twist that I didn't expect in that kind of a film. Chris Pratt does a really, really good job. Wildstyle is an ace in it. It's just a really good film.
And it's got Stephanie Beatriz in.
It does have Stephanie Beatriz. Yeah, not actually sounding like Rosa Diaz either.
No.
Which is nice, yeah.
But yeah, anyway, the case for Toy Story 4. So I've just absolutely.
I mean, I don't really have one other than it was just great fun. I remember just being in there like, I'm enjoying myself right now.
So, yeah, it was a bit more than that for me actually. Like it hit like a more of an emotional note than I expected it to. Like not to the same extent that the first one did. Because the first one, honestly, I am having a nightmare today.
Third one.
Yeah, the third one.
Ruined.
The toys are holding hands. Come on. But,
Toy Story 2 ruins me as well.
Yeah.
They are just all heartbreaking.
They are.
But like, it had a nice message, Toy Story 4. Like, it's all about Woody trying to find meaning, which I think is something that's, for what's essentially a kids' film, it's very sort of grown up issue to be dealing with.
True.
I just think you could have had that story with Buzz.
You could, but I think
Yeah,
it had
and
to.
you've
I think it
kind
had
of-
to be Woody though.
You've kind of.
No, but I
had
mean, you
that-
could have had them together, is what I mean.
Potentially, but then would that not just be the same?
I was about to say, is that not the kind of approach for all 3 films? Is belonging? Like, it's a common theme, isn't it?
It is.
It is their big thing.
But I think this was the first time that I was probably old enough and mature enough to understand it.
I think it's as well with the fact that like Woody was finding belonging outside of the group.
Yeah.
Which I know, obviously, then you can't have him and Buzz being together on it, whatever. But you could have had, like with Toy Story 2, so they split up the majority of that film. But it doesn't feel like that because Buzz is constantly trying to find Woody and constantly with the rest of the gang, and he's just like, no, we have to go. Yeah. And then when you got the fact that Woody thinks he's found a new home with the other toys, he respects him enough to leave.
Yeah.
When I watched that first time as a kid, jeez.
That might be a smart thing about splitting them up, because obviously it's less about, even though they're best friends, they like I say, Buzz respects that. Like, it doesn't make sense for Woody to stay anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it really could have been like a spin-off about Woody, because it was all about Woody. And
You could have literally not had the other toys and it would have made sense.
Yeah.
And Forky.
Forky was
Forky
alright.
was cool.
Forky was pretty funny.
Forky was cool.
Trash.
But the voice acting from the guy from Arrested Development, I can't remember his name.
You can do this.
I can't.
Okay.
I can't remember his name. But anyway,
It's
he's
a good film.
actor. It's a tough one. I feel like I have decided.
Yeah, you need to decide this, because I
both strongly either side.
Yeah.
I'm gonna side with Nathan.
Oh my god! Wait, sorry, can I get that in writing?
I'm mainly siding with you. I just feel bad for you. Because Chris sold me again on how good Lego Movie 2 was. I think, like I say, it's been that long that I've kind of forgot how much I enjoyed it.
It's so good.
But I put Toy Story 4 down. I'm going to stick with it.
Cool.
That's fair.
Give
that's
Nathan
fair.
a win.
Sweet.
No, like I said, it is
been a
a
long
good
time
film. It is a good film, but yeah,
It's got issues.
it's got its problems. But then again, there's not that many great animated films this year.
No, not at all.
Because the Abominable Snowman thing was good, but no one saw.
Was Incredibles 2 this year?
No, that was
Last year, wasn't it?
That was last year. If it was, I would have put that super top because I love that film.
Nah, it wouldn't
I
make
know
a
you
difference
two
to me.
would.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that moves us on. Are we going to do best or worst?
We're
Worst.
doing worst.
Can I
Worst
start
first.
us off with a big pitch?
Who's that, sorry?
Hellboy.
Hell.
Hellboy was...
I think, yeah.
It was living hell. Genuinely, I never like properly slating a film because I know that it takes a lot. Like, I know people put in their best effort and it's hard work, and people would have impact. Well, normally on a film, but this had nothing of that. This one just felt like a student project by someone who didn't even care.
He didn't even like Hellboy.
Genuinely, the storytelling was an absolute mess. The CGI was shocking.
Oh, it looks woeful.
There was no action really. There was one good action scene. I'd like to mention the storyline again. It's that bad. It feels like they just the editor just was like, these look like they're going to be in the right order. Let's just slap them together. Everything happened with no real purpose. And the final act is the most shocking thing you'll ever see. You get his CG dad, who looks like something from a PS1 game,
and
just flying at you. And David Harbour gets nothing to do either, who was the only potential positive. You could see he was trying.
He was the big draw.
He was the big draw, and he was properly let down.
So are you telling me that Mo from EastEnders did not save it?
I'm going to say Mo to that one.
Hey. Banter.
So yeah, this is probably my most passionate category. I'll fight to the death for this to be bottom.
Would you qualify it as a Chris King trash?
Worse.
Oh,
Worse.
well, that's a damning indictment.
Mm.
As Forky once said, trash.
Don't bring Forky into this.
He's too pure for this.
Yes.
Okay. After that very passionate speech, I think we all know what's going to win. But
Whoa.
nah, come on.
Also, honourable mention to Godzilla King of the Monsters. I could also rant about that one, but I'll leave it.
I'm going with Netflix's Hallmark special, Tall Girl.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer for this one looked like it could be contender for worst film of the year. Never mind the actual film.
Oh right, so let me explain Tall Girl to you.
Take us on a trip.
So, it's about, you'll be stunned to learn, a tall girl.
Okay.
Trying to find love.
I'm with you so far.
Now, the problem I have with this is in the first 15 minutes, she's got a boy that's interested in her, but she won't get with him because he's too short.
Wow.
Genuinely won't get with him because he's a short guy. And she ends up trying to get with this Swedish, beautiful, amazing man, right? And the basic premise of the film is that she gets with him, realises it's a terrible thing to do because he's got a girlfriend, and then ends up getting with short boy anyway. Good old Dunkelman. Love you.
I thought he walked in.
Right, so the dad looks like he's never had any acting training in his life,
Okay.
and like he's having a heart attack.
Who's in this film?
Nobody of any interest apart from Angela from The Office as her mum,
Of course.
who also is terrible. There's a scene where she comes home and her dad's throwing a party of the Tall Toppers Club, which is a lot of tall people in their club being like, it's okay to be tall. It's just
Why are they making this into like a proper...
Right, and as well, she goes on about how she's bullied in the film, right? She is bullied in the film twice. She spends more of the film complaining about the fact she's tall than other people having a go at her for being tall. Genuinely, that's actually true. And nothing's in shot, nothing's in frame properly.
Because she's so tall.
No, not even that. There's a poster on the wall.
How tall is she?
6'1". It's not even that tall.
She's an inch taller than I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
6'1". I've dated someone 6'1". Like, it's not even. Oh, I get so annoyed.
It's got a 44% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's
That
surprisingly
is-
high.
And
that is-
5.3 on IMDb. 80%
surprising.
of Google users like this film.
It
Yeah, but
deserves
what
a
do Google
1.
users not like?
It's horrendous.
Although top voted tags for it are cringeworthy, cliche, T-movie, corny, predictable, boring, and stereotypical characters.
Oh, yeah.
Plus 3 more.
Oh yeah, right. So, short boy.
Do they have actual names in the film?
Yes,
or are
they do.
Okay.
So her name is Jodie. His is Dunkelman.
His name's Actor Duncan.
His name is actually Dunkelman.
Cool.
He's carrying a box round for the entire film, right?
So let's just play
Do you know-
basketball for a living.
No, like a little box like that big, right? And do you know why he's carrying the box round?
Okay. What's in the box?
Because he's wanted to kiss her his entire since he's met her, so he wants something to stand on so as he can be taller than her to kiss her. What a load of absolute tripe! It is. They even have the friend fight 2/3 of the way through the film, where like her best friend and her fall out to provide conflict.
They've got to, yeah.
Oh, just
Sounds groundbreaking. I don't
it's
think I've ever seen it.
just shocking. Like
Why did you watch it out of curiosity?
Yeah, that
Because-
Like, what drew you to it?
the fact that it's horrendous. I literally watched it because I
Okay.
knew it was awful.
Okay,
And
because
I wanted-
you knew that months later I'm gonna start a podcast. I'm gonna trash it all over.
No,
it.
because I knew it was awful, and I was like, it can't be that bad, surely. No, it is.
Okay.
It is. It's awful. I hate it.
And
The
what
fact
about
that
you,
things
Nick?
like that get made. Oh no, I'm gonna stop now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll move on before
We'll
you,
move on.
you start swinging.
Yeah.
Burst of blood vessels.
Yeah.
So there's a veil in your head that's not looking too hot right now. So this was actually surprisingly hard for me because I didn't think I'd seen a film this year that I hated. There's a few that disappointed me. But then you opened my eyes to one that I think I just repressed it. And it's Dark Phoenix.
Oh god.
The-
I've forgotten about that.
The X-Men franchise broke
trash.
its own timeline, reset itself purely so it could have a second pop at making X-Men Last Stand. And they made exactly the same mistake where X-Men Last Stand, we had 2 films building up to that point where we actually got to know Jean Grey and we still didn't really know enough about her to make that plot pay off. And they did the same thing again. Like they didn't even. She wasn't in First Class because she wouldn't have been old enough.
No, she was.
Then they cast her in. Was she in Days of Future Past? I don't think
Yeah,
she
she
was.
was.
She was in it, but she was very sort of like to the side.
Then
Should-
that
should-
big breakout with the apocalypse.
She was in Apocalypse, where at the end of that, obviously the whole Phoenix thing came around her, which makes no sense because the Phoenix thing came from space, so she didn't even have it at that point. So basically, we knew absolutely nothing about her going into Dark Phoenix, and then it tries to make you care that her life's falling apart, and it just doesn't work. The first third of this film is okay. It sets the scene quite well. You actually start to give even a remote amount of like shiz about her, and it's just the most boring, uninspired storyline I've ever seen. Like, it makes no use of Fassbender, who is fantastic when he's in it.
Yeah, he's the best bit for
Yeah.
sure.
McAvoy, solid as he tends to be,
He's alright.
but Sophie Turner was just the wrong choice for Jean Grey. And I think the fact that they made the same film again, and oh my god, the final act. This is a 20-year spanning franchise, and it is the worst send off I think I've ever seen. It's just the most. I say it's just dull. There's nothing jaw dropping about it.
It's upsetting that the same people can make Logan.
Ish.
Yeah,
Ish.
yeah. But if anything, it sums up the X-Men franchise perfectly. Where like it showed promise, but in the end, it's just
Shoots
meh.
itself in the face.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah, see,
hate this film.
I didn't hate it. I admit it was incredibly dull.
Yeah,
I gave it like 5 out of 10. But that
Oh,
is
that's generous.
4 better than Hellboy.
yeah.
So for context,
Hellboy.
Like it's not a badly made film. Like
that's it.
I
It's,
think
it's
that-
alright. It's just
yeah.
not
Yeah,
not entertaining at all.
no, it wasn't. They didn't approach it in the right way. I think it wasn't so much badly made. I just think it was big creative decisions along the way that were just not quite right.
Yeah, that's the thing. So with Dark Phoenix, like you say, you've got Fassbender and McAvoy being solid. It looks good, like visually.
Yeah.
If you ignore the fact that the
Yeah.
plot's terrible. Whereas with Hellboy and Tall Girl, everything about them is awful.
Everything about it, yeah.
Like
I
even
feel
the
it's gotta
framing
be
in Tall
between
Girl
us.
is horrendous. They can't even frame a shot properly.
Yeah.
Multiple times. They have proper like Mr. Robot framing where like someone's head is in the bottom left corner of the screen. It's so weird. Oh, I hate that film.
So
So how are we going to do this one? then?
Nathan's
Nathan, you've got the casting right
based on the pictures that we've put forward.
Hellboy or
It has to be Hellboy, really.
or Tall Girl.
But I will be happily accept Tall Girl because it's
I think
a garbage film.
I think what I
I-
will say, the difference is you went in knowing that was trash.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hellboy
I
had the
think-
crushing disappointment of being.
Now, how did you not know? Did you not watch the trailer?
I watched it. No, but I thought it'd
I was
be.
actually I was in after the first trailer.
yeah, I
was
thought
not.
it'd be.
Yeah.
There'd be at least some cool action.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be dumb but fun.
No.
Yeah.
No,
thought
I
it was gonna be
didn't.
dumb
Yeah,
fun.
and I'm going to say Hellboy purely because like it disappointed me so much how bad this film was.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
So
I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
I'd vote Hellboy as well.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Like as
That's
much as
the
I
thing,
hate Tall
you were
Girl.
getting vexed then, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, he wants this tall
As
victory
mu-
now.
yeah, as much as I hate Tall Girl, I can't stand Hellboy.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
just go and watch the Ron Perlman one.
Yeah, just Save yourself.
Even
from
the
it.
second
Yeah,
one.
man,
The second one's
that's
not
all right.
amazing.
Yeah, Golden
but
Army's rubbish.
Yeah,
but it's so much better than
but
their rehash.
it's okay though.
Yeah, it's alright.
Okay.
They tried their
Yeah,
best.
They tried their best. Yeah.
So the big one.
The big one.
Who wants to start?
I'll start because I'll basically just go rewind.
Yeah, same.
Hobsonshire again. It's
You're a madman.
See, this is going to be difficult now because I'm
We've
going to have
gone,
to
we've
make
gone
the
for three
exact same choice
completely
again.
different
Because
films.
I'm going Peanut Butter Falcon, but then you're going to go Endgame, right?
No.
Oh, what are you going
No.
for?
It should be Endgame for me, realistically. Like, the fact that in the year that Endgame came out, it's not my film of the year is ridiculous, but it's Joker.
Fair.
It has to
Fair.
be.
Fair.
Like, I don't want to watch it again, but I don't think I've ever been on such a. I did like a weird then, but like, I don't think I've been on such a journey in a film before. Like, not that I was that invested in it, that made me feel so many different emotions over the course of 2 hours. Is it 2.5 hours? Like, to go from liking Arthur and pitying him to kind of rooting for him to being generally terrified of him. And I'm not gonna lie, the when he stood on the police car and he pulled the blood back and made it into the Joker smile, I got chills. So
Were they multiplying?
they were mortifying.
You were losing control.
I was.
No more Grease references, please, or we'll have to pay for it.
I better shape up.
Tell me more.
So, back on Two Guys Still Film. No, so, as much as I love... Right, I'm very aware that my love for Hobbs and Shaw is very unique to me.
Yeah, and you can't say it's the best film.
I can say it's the film I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, exactly.
Which it was. I have to agree with Joker.
Yeah, I like
have
Sam
to agree
Joker
with
for
Joker.
sure. For sure.
Does that mean I won?
That means
Yeah.
you win the big one.
You won twice.
You won twice.
Wow. I won the silver planet. The silver planet.
The
Silver
Silver
Planet.
Planet.
The silver planet.
You are the...
I say I won as if I wrote and directed
You did.
Joker. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
You're Todd Phillips.
I am Todd
Well, I
Phillips.
mean, you can be Todd Phillips for the purposes of collecting the award, which we've not made.
Yeah, that's true, because no one else is going to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
round of applause. Round of applause, Joker.
Well done to cinema. You had an alright year.
Yeah.
Some stinkers, but
Some very, very big stinkers.
in fact, a lot of really bad
Yeah,
stuff.
it's not been a great year.
Are
But
there
they
any-
kind of clutch played it towards the end.
Yeah.
They did.
So,
Are there any honourable mentions that we didn't talk about that you want to throw in
Ford
there?
v Ferrari. That was a
Yeah,
good
okay.
film. That was really
Fair.
good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
I
that
really
yet.
enjoyed that. And another one which I gave 9 out of 10.
What George thinks. Have you got any?
I'm trying to think. Maybe Knives Out?
Knives Out.
Knives Out, that's
Yeah,
the one.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
Knives
the other
Out,
one.
yeah.
Those two.
As
were
much as I
close.
slated it, I did enjoy that film.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
and for me
kind
it
of
was-
come
it
back
was-
round on it.
It was again the categories. I think it didn't really.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't have a crime. If we had a
Yeah.
crime, Knives Out would have won
Yeah.
that every
Yeah.
single time.
It would also be the only one in it.
I'm trying to think if there were any good films at the beginning of the year. There was a good film with Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart.
Was
Big-
that
Oh.
good though?
I liked that
Oh,
film.
what's that
I
called,
heard
though?
only bad things. You're
No,
the first
I
person that
genuinely
said
liked
something
that
good. The
film.
Upside.
The Upside,
Upside.
yeah, that
The
was
Upside.
it.
The Upside.
I actually like that film. I don't like the fact that Bryan Cranston was cast. And we could have actually had there's plenty of actors.
Yeah,
That are-
representation.
yeah,
could have
exactly.
been improved. Yeah.
But in terms of what the message, the fact that it was just a nice schmaltzy film, it was a good way to spend 2 hours. Bohemian Rhapsody came out this year. Why did
No,
I
it
not pick
did
that as
not.
best
It
musical?
It
No, was
came
that
out
last
It
year?
was last
Was
year.
that last
It
year?
was Rocket Man this year.
Rocket Man was this year.
Rocketman was alright.
Rocket Man was good as well.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Fighting with My Family.
Mhm,
If you want a
Fighting with
good proper British comedy with a really interesting story as well, actually,
I really want to watch that film.
and with Florence Pugh. So.
Oh, shout out to John Wick as well, Chapter 3.
Nah.
Nah,
No?
No.
No?
sadly not.
I don't
Why?
like John Wick films.
Every
Oh.
John Wick that comes, the less I like it.
Oh, but you used John Wick against me for Endgame.
No, I said John Wick, not John Wick for Chapter 3 Parabellum of the highest order of the circle of. Like, yeah,
I'll
John
have-
Wick 1 I like.
I'll have a
John Wick
franchise talk
2
a bit
was
more.
alright. John
Have
Wick
you heard
3 was
that-
pretty trash.
John Wick and 4 and The Matrix 4 are both coming out on the same day.
Yeah, it's Keanu vs Keanu, isn't it?
It's going to be the Keanu,
Yeah.
the
Keanu
day of
Reeves
Keanu.
holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also put the best and worst film to the people.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I must say, you answered in your threes. I think about 5 people answered. So I'm
I'll
just
take
gonna-
that. That's
fair.
half a
So-
decade.
We had one shout out for best film was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, I hate
Sadly
that film.
not. Sadly not. I appreciate you commenting.
So-
though.
So, we actually know the person who said that as well.
Do you want
Wow,
to name
who
drop
is
him?
Am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, go on, why not?
No. Well, for the purpose of this podcast, we'll call her Charlie because her name's Charlie from our course.
Fair.
Well,
Thank
what
you.
else would you?
Thank you for your suggestion, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie.
For
Yeah,
worst
I
film, she said The Laundromat, which
I've not
that,
seen.
that did
I've-
look terrible.
I've never heard of it.
That did look terrible.
So-
Can I explain
It's a
my
Netflix
problem
film.
with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, sure.
God,
time.
and we'll extend
Quickly.
this podcast for another hour or something.
No, look, I get what it was trying to do, and I like the fact that it tried to do something different. But for me, the most enjoyable part of that film was Leo shooting another film. Like the western he was in, I much prefer that to the actual film. And it felt like, so you got the big payoffy thing with the Manson gang at the end. You're like, oh, okay, cool. There's going to be the final act of the film, and it ends, and you're like, what? It just felt a bit weird. The pacing did. And
Yeah,
that-
as I've said to you guys in the past, I've watched it twice and I enjoyed it way more the second time.
I
think
haven't seen it second time yet.
You go in expecting some classic Tarantino, big
It's
twists,
not.
kind of some action, quite gruesome stuff. It all comes in the last 20 minutes at best.
Mm.
But once you accept that it's just this film where you just hang out with two really interesting characters, actually,
Yeah.
you enjoy it more because you just enjoy chilling out with them. That said, doesn't need to be 2 hours 40.
No, you could sum up that first hour and a half in about half an hour.
Yeah.
As a Tarantino fan, do you think I'd like it? Like, I really like my Tarantino.
It's not a classic Tarantino film. It's actually
yeah, it's a
quite.
weird one.
It's quite empathetic and quite lovely, really.
My
The way that it- of Hollywood, not
Okay.
in, not in
Oh, right,
terms of
okay.
a romance
Yeah,
storyline.
okay.
my best mate loved it, and he's a massive Tarantino fan.
Okay.
But I think you need to know about the Manson gang before you go in, because I knew
Yeah,
nothing about the
definitely,
Manson
it
gang, and it
helps.
does not hold your
Yeah,
hand.
I
At
know-
least
I know
the
quite a
Sharon
bit.
Tate murders.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't hold your hand.
The
at
Sharon
all.
Tate.
Poor Sharon.
So did you know her quite well?
Yeah, it's getting there.
Uh,
Have we got any others?
we got one for best Joker and worst Dark Phoenix, or maybe Shazam.
Was that just you?
Wow.
No, that was my girlfriend.
Shazam, yeah, I respect that.
yeah,
Nico's girlfriend.
Shaz-
Shazam's awful.
yeah,
I'm glad.
Shazam.
Don't be rude to Shazam.
I,
Shazam's not
is
that bad.
Trash.
I reviewed it
Trash
at the time, and I gave it. What did I give it? I think I gave it 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6.
And in retrospect, I don't know what I was thinking because I think it's like a 2 out of 5. I just
yeah, 2 out of 5 for me.
it's. I think it was more the fact that
Were you blinded by Zach Levi like I was?
I do like Zachary Levi.
He was the only good
And,
bit.
I was blinded by
and to be fair, I do think the twist at the end where multiple Shazams appear.
Shazamites.
I really like that, but I just think the humour was not for me.
No,
At
the
all.
humour was very kind of DCEU humour.
Yeah,
And
and I think it was smart in the sense that it tried to distance itself from the other films, with the exception of maybe Superman, with that really poor Superman cameo where it clearly wasn't Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And the only other response that we got was best Endgame. This wasn't
Fair.
me.
Mhm.
And worst Men in Black International, which I
Oh,
forgot about, and
that's a good
that
choice.
looked god awful from the trailer.
It was kind of Dark Phoenix level. It was just
Just
like
meh.
Good production
It
value
was.
is terrible.
Yeah.
Film.
Like,
everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a very average Hollywood blockbuster.
Yeah, there's been
which,
a lot of that this
yeah.
year.
It's been the entire year,
Like-
blockbuster-wise, really.
I was quite intrigued by it though, because I think Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson are really good together.
They don't get a chance to
No.
do anything, sadly.
Because
They've got nowhere near the same chemistry as Thor.
Yeah, because their chemistry is one of the few things I like about Ragnarok. So
Oh, I like it.
I love Ragnarok.
I have a weird
Qualities.
relationship with Ragnarok. I'm sure we'll discuss that at some point.
Yeah, this long-awaited Marvel podcast
Yeah.
needs to be brought forward.
Yeah, you know, like we're gonna build it up and build it up. It's gonna be an absolute turd. This is gonna be us rambling for.
I like this one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This is high quality content.
I haven't tripped over my words once.
No, my voice hasn't broken live on
Do
it.
you know what you mean?
Yeah.
Should we do a quick round of unprepared questions for unprepared people?
Well, I'm an
Yeah.
unprepared person, so
So-
let's should we? Since I won, shall I get?
You
the,
did win, and
shall
it's
I-
your
Alright.
host as well, so you
I
get
am
the
host,
questions.
yeah.
So
I will ask you best performance of the year.
Best performance of the year.
wacky.
It's got to be Joaquin, hasn't it? I toyed with De Niro in Irishman, but I think it's got to be Joaquin. Yeah. It's difficult to put it anywhere else, really.
Worst performance of the year.
Oh, with
That's some original
with-
questions.
No, I know. I'm just curious.
without a shadow of a doubt, Sophie Turner's Jean Grey.
That's rough.
The films that I've seen.
That is rough.
The films that I've seen.
Okay. Biggest disappointment of the year.
Biggest disappointment of the year.
Yeah, like so you went in being like, this is going to be dope. Like
And
George
then
did with
also
Hellboy.
biggest surprise of the year.
I think biggest surprise is going to be Detective Pikachu, because I went in with no expectations, and I kind of
I was looking forward to it.
See, I went into it thinking that it was going to be good for a Pokemon lover, but I wasn't one, and so I didn't think it was going to, I didn't think it was going to get to me the way it did, and I think it was a lot smarter than I originally gave it credit for.
I went in expecting it to be trash, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be just maybe a laugh. I thought it was going to be like Sonic the Hedgehog level of like.
That looks
Hey,
bad.
it's yet to
That
come
redesign
out. You
does
can't
work.
judge it yet.
Yeah.
Can't judge it yet.
But like how that film looks like it's going to be. That's
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
the standard that I thought it was going to be. Biggest disappointment, I think I'm going to say Spider-Man Far From Home.
Fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that one.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
Because shockingly, I'm a massive Spider-Man fan.
What?
No?
I know, and a massive Mysterio fan. And I think the thing that's most disappointing about it is that anyone who knows what Mysterio is knows what the twist is going to be, which is fine, but it takes so long to get there that those first two massive set pieces have no stakes, because you know that you don't know exactly what the twist is going to be, but you know that all can't be as it seems. And I think there's that one scene, sort of the end of the second act, where Mysterio goes full Mysterio, and it's all the hallucinations
Yeah,
and all the
that's really
trippy
cool.
stuff, and that is exactly what I wanted. And then the final fight just doesn't live up to it, and it falls
Drones.
flat. It's just a drone fight,
Drones,
and
Drones
yeah,
are different depending on which shot you look
Yeah.
at as well, which
yeah,
annoyed the crap
yeah.
out of me.
I still think Tom Holland is brilliant in it. I still think he's the best Spider-Man, live action Spider-Man.
he is
I
good.
was going to say, because it's clearly Peter B.
And,
Parker.
and I think Jake Gyllenhaal was a good casting for Mysterio.
But he's wasted, I think.
He's
wasn't he?
yeah, and I hope he comes back to do more, because I think there's a lot more to do with him. And
I mean, he might get in the third one now that obviously we've got
I think
the
he'll be in the
MCU.
Sinister Six. I do think he'll be in the Sinister Six.
Mm.
So that's the other thing as well. Like, it's got a really good post-credit scene. So it did like, it moved everything along in a nice way. But I think the film itself was really forgettable.
Yeah, if you just take away the fact that like everyone knows who's Spider-Man now.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I sang its praises, and then it was the second time when I knew A, that the twist was coming, and B, what the twist was going to be. That first half of the film just drags. You're just like, come on, like, just get there.
I think it has the classic James Bond problem of being set in so many different locations.
Yeah, so I didn't mind that so much. I think it was more. I think after Endgame, it was just a weird film to put next.
It was.
So I think because you wanted more sort of all like the little threads that were maybe not tied up in Endgame. You kind of want you want answers to that. In the
Yeah,
end.
they were just like, forget Endgame, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a little joke at the start. And then
Yeah,
we just
yeah, like
completely
it
ignored
cleared up that one little thing of like what happens when they get snapped back. But it definitely had one eye on
and
things
it
for
had
it, didn't it?
no other repercussions whatsoever, apparently.
Yeah, it was an average Spider-Man story that could have been one of the best Spider-Man stories.
Yeah.
And on that crushing note,
Yeah.
we shall end
How-
2019 on
How
a
else would we
positive-
end 2019?
Apart from complaining about Marvel.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well,
so
thank
we're
you,
gonna be-
thank you for listening.
Thank you. We're going to be back in February, I think,
Ye-
because obviously the 2 weeks we're back in January is going to be exam heavy.
Yeah,
Um,
we might be able to magic one up.
we could
Might
might,
imagine
might be able to, but I don't want
Yeah.
to promise. I don't
Yeah.
want
The
to promise.
1917 review.
Are we
should be
gonna-
pretty
Oh
easy.
yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going to do the 1917 review. We'll be back for the 1917 review.
We should probably talk about Star Wars at some point as well.
Yes, and we'll
Yeah.
briefly have a caveat.
We could do like a joint. We could do a joint review.
Yeah, that'd be
double
nice.
Yeah,
review.
a double review.
I know, the first time. And then we'll be back properly in February once we're back with uni and everything. 'cause it's
Mark it in
Christmas
your
break for
calendar.
us.
Yeah,
so-
note it down.
Get ready for that February podcast life, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.